Do you buy this argument that the signaling on the economic ministries is what will determine how seriously people take the government's intent? One is the political messaging, Uttar Pradesh, caste communities, OBCs, Dalits. The other is the messaging on what's the government's plan and who are the personnel who can kickstart this economy. Shankkar.
You know, there's a lot of talk about the know-who factor. Who is in, who is out, what is the qualification of the people who are in and out. There's not enough, on the know what and the know how. And what exactly is the problem that is being solved by the cabinet reshuffle? That is the question that needs to be answered. I don't buy the fact that lateral entrants are superior or that domain expertise makes you a better minister. We've had PhDs as education ministers and we've had doctors as health ministers. And the pandemic has shown that there are several people with feet of clay in the system. The issue is, what is the problem that you want to solve? So here's the first question, privatization. What's happening? This government needs money. If you want to fix the economy, you need to privatize or you monetize the assets. Can you do it without a minister for privatization? Second point, health sector. What is happening to, in 2017, you announced 1.5 lakh community health centers, wellness centers and stuff. How many of them have they been built? Can they bring in a person who will make that happen? Can you bring in a minister who can get at least the BJP ruled states to implement the farm produce cooperative thing? Devendra Fadnavis as of today or tomorrow might be free. Why not make him the coordinator for the implementing the farm laws? Why not create farm produce cooperatives? The pandemic has changed the way governments work. What about e-governance? Why not bring in a person for e-governance? The regular laws that govern labor, capital and factors of productivity need to be changed after the pandemic. How do you deal with old laws? Those are the questions that need to be asked. You guys know cricket, so let me finish this by saying that you can't set the field for a left-hand batsman and then bowl on the wrong side of the wicket. I think you have to figure out what is the problem that you want to solve and how you're going to solve it.
No, so you're calling
of it finally rests at the Prime Minister's choice of what he wants to address. Yes, the economy is important. Health will make the economy work.
You're asking for a new way of thinking. Rajdeep, is that at all possible? Because the flip side to that is if you change too many things, right ahead of the parliament session, the opposition picks up its bazooka and says, this is an acknowledgement of defeat. This is an acknowledgement that you wasted 2.5 years, that you didn't know what you were doing so far. Therefore, you've been forced to course correct in such a big way. So it's a tricky equation for the Prime Minister to balance.
It is such a powerful government, Rahul. I don't think Prime Minister Modi has to worry about what the opposition says in Parliament. He simply has to do, and I think Shankkar is absolutely right.
Think of it in the context of a bureau of reporters. If you change half the reporters one day, it means that they were sleeping on the job and not getting the job done properly.
No, I don't think you have to change half the people, but you certainly have to ensure that in critical ministries that will define your idea of new India, of environment, health, the economic ministries, to my mind, are going to be critical to the future of this country. You need people who will be adept at issues of global warming. You need people who will be adept at raising the quality of health infrastructure in this country. You need people who will be adept at managing the economy in a tech-driven world. Now, this doesn't mean that you need specialists. I made this point earlier. It's not as if technocrats necessarily make great ministers, but you will need people who would energize this government. I think this government, this course correction that the Prime Minister is going through is to energize this government. After 7 years in power, a certain element of sloth can set in at times, even though you claim to be in mission mode. And I think COVID 2.0 in particular has been a wake-up call in that sense. And now the challenge is, how are you going to, in the next 2.5 years, reach out to the people with your vision of New India? Forget the election ministries, the ones from UP, Maharashtra, Bengal. Those are just accommodating people. I would like to believe that with such a powerful Prime Minister, with such a powerful mandate, this is an opportunity to change the way you think.
So
he's right, Shankkar, about a ministry of disinvestment. I would say a ministry that focuses on global warming, a ministry that focuses on health facilities, maybe even break it up and focus specifically on issues that are critical to improving the quality of health in this country. I think that is what Mr. Modi, should be doing, like he did with Swachh Bharat. It changed people. There was a Nirmal Bharat against Congress. Mr. Modi took it to another level. Do it now. If you don't do it when you're such a powerful Prime Minister, you don't have to worry about the opposition. You've got to worry about your legacy. What is your legacy going to be in the next couple of years? And that will only be shaped if you're willing to have a vision for a new India with new ministries. You keep talking, Rahul, of less government, more governance. Have we really got it?
No.
We haven't got it. So it's time to focus on governance and not just big bang.